What's up, creatives? Let's talk about this quality of life upgrade from Adobe. This has to do with the layers. Now, if you've worked in Photoshop, you know that coming over here, dealing with layers, especially when you have a lot of them. So, for those of you who do photo manipulations, you will appreciate this because when I select this layer, I it's hard to tell where everything is on the screen here. But what Adobe did is this is show hover bounds from layers. This is the first one. And this is the first one that really is the primary one that you'll love the most because when I hover over the layer, of course, it's lighting up, but it's also showing me where in the image this particular layer is located. So here's my sun, and you can see that it's highlighted there. If I select the birds, if I select the model, select the background, it really makes, and even with the group here, when I highlight the group, and it's covering everything because the group includes the background and the model, but you can see still very, very nice little tool there. But let's continue. Expand the layer group. This is one of those that here's a layer group. I'm here. I click on the model and the group opens. So that's a nice little feature. Just click on, the group opens. And again, for those of you who do manipulations, this is something you will enjoy. The only thing here is that when I'm here, nothing is happening. And so I'm over here, everything happens. But when I'm on the canvas, nothing happens. And this is where the next one come in. Show layer bounds on hover. Love this feature because now you can see when we hover above the layer, it's showing us the bounds of the layer and it's showing us over here where it is on our layer path or whatever you want to call that. But this is one of those things where these two together here, show layer hover bounds, show hover bounds from layers. The combination of these two things make life so much easier, especially when you're dealing with a large Photoshop file. Now, it works a little different, especially if you start putting in a lot of adjustment layers because those things kind of apply to the entire layer as well. So that can get pretty confusing, but when you have an image like this where everything is kind of laid out, it really is nice. Now, the one that I'm not sure of is show transform controls. And what this is essentially you're clicking on it and it also is Control T, which brings up the transform. This one I am not that thrilled about. I don't think I'm going to have that one turned on. I think I will stick to Control T and escape. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. Now, one final thing, the color. You see, I have this green, nice bright green so I can see everything. If you go to Edit, Preference, and Guide Grids and Slices, the default is light blue, 1 pixel. So let me go ahead and hit OK, and you can see that this is the default. Doesn't stand out as much, especially when I start adding in some guides or anything like that. New guide layout. Let's just do that. So it doesn't really stand out. So that's why I went to edit, preferences, and I just made it, found the brightest color, the thickest line possible, hit OK, and so it can stand out a little bit more. So if you, okay. So that's a preference, obviously, edit preference, but I think is one of those that makes a life easier. But again, this is a quality of life update that I think that as Adobe does more of these, and there are some other new features with this Photoshop beta, I will continue to make videos looking at the all of the new features that are coming to the I will continue to make videos on all of the new features as I get used to them. And but this one here, by far one of my favorite updates.